Hey, how's it going? I'm in a Lifetime Manta here and I'm doing a couple upgrades to it, and I think they're fairly common from my understanding, but I figured I'd film mine just so in case you want some tips or visual on what it looks like from my side and maybe any challenges I run through, you have that here. What I'm doing today is a couple things. First, installing the Scupper Plugs. From everything I've read and what I've experienced a couple times out on this Manta already is that with the hole locations that are here, they do get fairly wet on the inside as far as area that you're setting in, as well as underneath your seat. And so I just want to permanently plug those for now unless it's raining or have any other reason to pull those out, but the majority of the time I'll have these in. Secondly is a seat riser. I think a lot of people have made the same feedback that the seat is very nice and comfortable, but especially with standing up constantly on my side of the house, it sets back a little far, and so I'd like to have a couple inches above that just so I can get a little bit more stability when I'm trying to stand up and set back down. And a little more height never hurts as well. And then the last thing I'm putting on is an anchor trolley system. I have just a traditional, I think 3-pound anchor right now that I drop over the side. I constantly run into a lot of the wind problems based on where I live, and so hoping this will kind of solve some of the problems on this kayak as well as similar problems I had on my previous kayak too. So let's get started. Okay, first we're going to start with the Scupper Plugs. These are 1 1/4 inch Kayak Scupper Plugs. I got them off of Amazon at the time. They were like 13 bucks or so. I will say I did get these as a recommendation actually from another YouTube video. I'll post this link below. And these look like they're simple, don't have a lot of strings on them or anything. It can fit the holes fairly decently. From my understanding though, it is probably best to cut off one of these, but I'm going to try real quick with just a mallet and see if that works for plugging these appropriately. Alright, I don't think those things are going anywhere. Next up, I've got the seat riser. I also got this from the other guy on YouTube that I saw. And although this isn't directly stated to work with the Manta, it looked like it was just fine with his. And, trial and error. That's the fun part of this. So we've just got the anchor trolley left, and also got this on Amazon. I did get it on Prime Day. I think this is the only one that was actually on a sale, to be honest. It was on sale for $28. I think it was normally like $35, $36. So not too bad on the pricing, but yeah, let's figure out how to put this thing on. Okay, so took a couple minutes just to kind of get grounds for what's going on here. So a couple of different parts of the installation happen. From my understanding, you're going to be installing initially these anchor points up front. It says anywhere from 7 to 10 inches is the ideal length from the very front. Obviously above the water line is what you want. So for me, I imagine that means somewhere right here. And this is at a horizontal or straight line angle. And then from there you'll do the same on the back. You'll attach the carabiner plus the trolley system together like so. Those will hook into here, and then all that's left from that point is to run the line, which will be the fun hard part of course, but we'll do that momentarily after we get these installed. On top of that, it also gives you extra eye hooks that you can place down, the one here and one in the back, to give the line a little bit more tension and support. So it's not sagging on you. And then you've got 2 other pieces, the actual ring itself, which allows you to move the anchor back and forth, and then the cleat, which allows you to easily set the position of the ring or the actual anchor itself in a specific point and not move without you having to worry about it moving. So this will go ideally, I believe, right here, so it's easy access for me, but it's still behind me and out of my stroke of the paddle. In my case, I'm going to be using screws. This does come with rivets as well as nuts if you alternatively want to use that, so it comes with all 3 different options. And then the only other thing I will need to get and do, which I think I'll probably get more used to this as we're going along, is the silicone. It does recommend to put silicone behind all your screws as well as the cleat itself later on down the road. So let's get started. Okay, just on to the part where we're tying on to the ring, and the instructions say to use either a barrel or a clinch knot. To be 100% honest, I'm not sure how the barrel knot works. I'm somewhat familiar with the clinch knot from just a normal fishing line tie, but dealing with the sticker rope seems like it's a little bit harder, but that's what we're gonna do here. I just looked it up on YouTube to kind of give some premise on like how to tie it for a rope, and so the closest one I found is same idea in fishing where they do the improved variation. So it's through the ring and then around 5 times, and you leave a little gap at the bottom so you can go back through for the improved point. 1, 2, 3. I need more line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go through and then through our same line. Maybe that's why they don't do the improved variation here, because it doubles up on that line, doesn't need to be. Alright, so there's my just clinch knot at this point. We'll do the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna be 100% honest, that knot was complicated. Part of it was the fact that they give so much excess string, I was having complications getting it tight. And then the second part was the clinch knot. I was tying a little bit backwards, and it wasn't actually cinching down properly. So after some research and a couple of adjustments on my side, I did two things. One, I installed the bungee cord here. It comes with two of these. One you can either install here or on the front anchor point as well. And then the second is that I did the bungee tie-on, or sorry, the clinch knot tie-on both of these sides. And now there's tension here with that. It also gives me room still to undo those if I need to. From my understanding, over time the cables can shrink, and so I may need to give them a little room to breathe later. Last thing we want to do here, put on the cleat. So I'm going to set that up real quick, make sure it's in a good position, and then we'll be good to go. Oh, and also put on one additional anchor here, as my understanding is it's better to clip into an anchor point, run your line through for your anchor versus clipping onto the actual ring itself, just in case you need to detach while out in the middle of nowhere. So, all right. All right, we got those upgrades done today. As a run through real quick, we had the seat where we raised it by 2 inches over here. I've got the scupper plugs in to stop all the water from getting on the inside. I need 2 more in the back because the pack was only of 6, but I don't think that'd be a huge issue. And then we also have the trolling kit, which you can see right along here. And we've got the anchor hooked up right now just as a show and tell, but run through the ring and then be able to move this back and forth, as well as the cleat lock here too. All right, thanks so much for watching. If you have any other recommendations on other upgrades I should do, let me know. I know adding a motor is a big thing on these things. I'm not there yet, but definitely paddles, maybe some upgrades for the foot holders, things like that. Let me know. And if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. See ya.